In 2019, I did my first cannonball, and everything went wrong. We got a bad tank of fuel. We couldn't do more than 100, 110 miles an hour, going down to 80 miles an hour. 40 gallons of bad fuel will take forever to get out of there. We were about to call it quits in Indiana, where I made some repairs to the car. We finished the run. So, a follow up to that, Mark Spence and I went from New York to Los Angeles and back in 74 hours and 5 minutes. Because of that run, I got invited to a event on Long Island called the Great Marquis Concours d'Elegance. And I had such a great time there. The people who ran it were fantastic people. And we jokingly said, we should do a cannonball event. We thought about it, we laughed, and forgot. So a few months later, Ben Wilson and I are talking, and we're like, we should really do something about the 50th. We should do some sort of event. We'll all go to the Marriott. We'll book rooms. Everybody can hang out in the parking garage, or maybe if we get really lucky, we can rent a ballroom or find a field somewhere we can all hang out, and it'll be great. I said, well, why don't we do something a little bit bigger? Because I met these guys. They were interested in doing a cannonball event. We could probably join up with them. We have a car show already established that we can show all our cars. Seemed great. So I approached them and they said yes, they'd love to do that. During the year of planning, we just decided that, maybe we should do a little bit more. A little bit more became, why don't we have an event Friday night, like a little cocktail party, just, to thank everybody for coming. Nothing crazy. And then everybody does whatever they want to do on Saturday and explore the city. To, why don't we do some discussion panels? And we have the 50th anniversary. We have these original Cannonballers who are our heroes. They did things in the 70s running cars that weren't as good as our modern cars. The tires were terrible, and they're doing almost the same speeds we are. So to my mind, they're way more brave or stupid or whatever. So we should honor them. Ben and I decided we would go for having the original Cannonballers be the focal point of this event. As we were doing that, I thought, nobody's going to say yes. They don't know who I am. They don't know who Ben is. So why don't we talk to Pam? I'm like, I don't know. I was terrified to talk to her. This is Pam Yates. I can't talk to her. I was just so nervous to even speak to her. I procrastinated. Finally, I get her number. Ben had talked to her. He said, she's lovely. Just talk to her. So I call her. And within minutes, I'm perfectly at ease. She is one of the sweetest human beings you could ever hope to meet. And we didn't talk anything about cars at all. But next thing I know, 2.5 hours are gone. At the end, I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to do this event. And is that okay with you? And she's like, oh, absolutely. You can use the logo. You can do whatever you need to do. I'm like, okay. And at that point, it was, well, if she said yes, who else is going to say yes? So I started calling everybody, calling manufacturers to see if they'd be interested in participating, and talking to CEOs of large corporations. We get a good chunk of the original Cannonballers coming to this event, and we put panels together, sectioning everybody off by era. At that point, I realized I need sponsorship. I reached out to Chris Benvey, and Ferrari of Long Island was happy to give us the money we needed to run this event. Day of the event, we get there, everybody meets up in the hotel. I got exactly what I wanted from this event. Everybody is hanging out. It's old original Cannonballers, it's modern Cannonballers, and we're all just sitting around talking, swapping war stories. And I have this picture of everybody together, and my favorite picture of the event. Day of the cocktail party actually went extremely well. Had a pizza company come in and give all of us pizza, because my thought was originally we were going to do hors d'oeuvres, very complicated. And I said, guys, this is New York. Like, most people are traveling in for this event. What do they want? They want bagels, they want pizza, they want cheesecake. Give the people what they want, and it's easy. Saturday, I show up at the event and I find out that the people from the grounds called in sick. So there is nobody at the gate to hand out tickets, direct people where to park. And I grab a radio, I run to the ticket counter, and I start handing out tickets, checking everybody in, tell them where to go, tell them where to park. If they had a car that we were displaying, tell them where to go, who to see, get everything situated there. The grounds find somebody to take over for me. So I book it to the area where we're having the panel to find that the people who were supposed to set everything up were also the ones who called in sick. So I very hurriedly scrambled to put up all of the displays, set up the chairs, set up the tables. We open everything up, and at this point, I'm starting to feel like, oh my goodness, this is a disaster. But we usher everybody in, round everybody up. I have Ben go out, get all the people together, bring them inside for the first panel. We have everybody tell a very short spiel about themselves, and the goal was to have the crowd ask them questions. For a second, after everybody says their spiel, there's silence. And I think to myself, oh no, nobody's going to ask any questions. But then somebody asks a question, and it just rolls. And I allotted a certain amount of time for each panel. Every single panel went over because the conversation was flowing, it was going well, and I'm not going to stop it. Now, talking about this event, there was something that had happened in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Our friend Denny had put on this event where all of us got together. It hadn't really been done before, where all of us get together and hang out and not have an event involved. And that event had a certain magic that we didn't know if we could recreate it. Now, after that, we knew it was kind of possible. Doug had an event where a bunch of us got together, and it was there. So my hope was that by having an event with the original Cannonballers, the modern Cannonballers, that we could blend the two and recreate that magic. And it happened. Ben and I, with the help of Jiro, wanted to do a love letter to Cannonball. This is something that we adore. It's an event that is the most true expression of freedom out there. You're going out and you alone are in control of your destiny. There are so few people who are willing to do that. And getting all of us together in one place is cathartic. When we get together, it's magic.
I'm super pumped to announce that in 2024, VINwiki is partnering with Bridgestone. So throughout the year, you're going to hear some great stories from their business, some awesome tire testing and things like that we're going to do. I've had a lot of Bridgestone and Firestone products over the years and loved them all. I know that you will too, but I want you to check out their Potenza line of tires for sports cars, supercars, and hypercars. Whatever your needs, whether it's ultimate track performance, road performance, or all-season performance, there is a Potenza tire for you. So check them out at the link in the description below and let us know what you think.